Hey, this is Rice from the guild Triggered. This video is just going to be me talking about my WoW experience so far. This is just a test video of me rambling, so I hope you enjoy. I started maybe a month or two when Legion came out, and I don't really remember much of my early days in WoW. Apart from that, I got to 110, and then I quit. And I quit for maybe, I don't know how many months, but I came back to give the game another try. And when I came back, I had just finished the first thing I did was go into Mythic dungeons, and I've never been into, or I haven't done a Mythic dungeon at that point. So I got my first Mythic Plus key, and I found myself enjoying the whole progressing thing with the keys. I remember trying to join pugs, but I knew they wouldn't take me. Or rather, they ended up not taking me. And I think, so the only way for me to get into the whole Mythic Plus was to make my own groups, and I failed a lot of keys. I remember this. I learnt a lot. There was every dungeon run I did in Mythic Plus was a pug, up until I joined my probably like the guild I'm in today. So, and that's about 4 or 5 in total. So yeah, so up until this point, I had no guild, and I pretty much figured that I had to join one if I wanted to move on to something else like raiding and PvP. So I joined. I didn't know what I wanted. This was also another problem I found out. I didn't know whether I wanted to move into PvP or PvE, the whole raiding or arena stuff. And so I decided that since I liked Mythic Plus, I'd go into raiding. So I looked for a casual guild. I didn't want to go off into the deep end, join like a Mythic raiding guild. I didn't know what Mythic raiding was at the point as well, so I joined a casual raiding guild, and this was my first ever guild. And I remember we were doing normal to TOS, 2 months of, and we progressed really slowly. I think we killed maybe 3 or 4 bosses the first night, which is like 3 hours. I think it was 3 hours long, I'm not sure. And we pugged maybe like a quarter of the members. So we didn't even have enough people to do the raid. And when I was doing the fights, or during the fights, well, actually at the end of the fights, because I'd never have my meters. I didn't have things like DPS meters until later on. And I'd always turn them off during the fights. I'd only turn them on after, in between trash packs and things like that. I found the DPS meters really distracting. But when I was looking at the DPS meters, I found that I was at the top most of the time. And I think it was at that point that it was also annoying me that the mechanics were being messed up, and basically I knew that I was better than these people in the nicest possible way. And I also wanted, my desire to progress was also probably a lot higher than the others. So I ended up leaving the guild, and I wanted to look for a guild that had already progressed through heroics. And I went through a number of guilds. I think I went through 3 or 4, and then I joined a Mythic raiding guild. So, and in this Mythic raiding guild, this was when I eventually got my curve. And even after all these guilds, I still hadn't done a guild run in the Mythic Plus dungeons. So, that's just a side note anyway. So I ended up joining my first Mythic raiding guild, and I enjoyed it, My first Mythic Raiding Guild, the environment wasn't the best. So I got my curve there, and then we progressed through TOS Mythic, and I was still a trial when they cleared the first and the second boss. And then I became like a full member, and we progressed up until, so we did the first, the second, we did Harjatan, and then we nearly killed Sisters. Was it Sisters? It's the one with the mounts lady in that circle room. But anyway, so when we got to that boss, as we were progressing through that boss, my schedule changed. And we were raiding 3 nights a week, and I told the raid leader that I couldn't make 3 nights a week, and he said, "Okay, that's fine, but you have to understand that we're taking you up for team." And I said, "That's fine." So, me wanting to continue Mythic raiding because I enjoyed it, and not being able to raid, I chose to leave. And in hindsight, it was a good decision. I left, and I remember this. The next raid day, they cleared the boss, but it's not a big deal. When I tell you the next part, which I'll save for the next episode, the next video. I hope you've enjoyed it so far, and thanks for listening.